You're watching East Tennessee weather. Weather when you want it.
All right, good morning, everyone. It is now 7:02, getting us started on this good old Tuesday morning. Rounds of showers and thunderstorms and severe weather yesterday, and that's really going to be the story here as we head through the next several days. Rounds and rounds and rounds of rain, and yes, rounds of severe weather potential are definitely going to be with us. So we've got a lot to talk about here this morning. Hopefully you can join in and, of course, add to the conversation, add to the chat if you have any questions. Now, I can't answer specific questions per county, per city. That's near to impossible, but we'll talk about the elements that are going to be taking place here over the next several days. Now, let's start you off first things first with the almanac from yesterday, I should say. Because yesterday we did make it to 81 degrees in Knoxville, 75 Crossville, 86 Chattanooga, and 75 in Tri-Cities. So a fairly average day yesterday, but we saw above average rainfall. McGee-Tyson Airport picked up 91/100ths of an inch of rain. Some of you even more than that. And we'll highlight those how much rainfall we saw yesterday coming up here in just a second. Actually, we'll just do it right now because you can see where we saw the heaviest rainfall, even upwards of about 2 inches of rainfall across parts of the mountain counties over the last 24 hours. Lighter rainfall across parts of Bradley County, McMinn County as well. So that's really the story. So now we have a saturated ground, okay, because we've got the rain that we saw yesterday. More rounds of rain are on the way, and that's what's going to lead to that flooding potential here as we head through, the next several days. All right, so here we go. Here's what we need to know. Your weather headlines for the day today. If storms develop today, they become strong to severe. The atmosphere is conducive to produce severe weather. I just don't think that we're going to have a whole lot of activity today. A little lull in the activity, but that's going to change as we head through our Wednesday. Now, Wednesday through the day, especially the second part of our day, so Wednesday afternoon into the early evening hours, well, some of the models indicating some isolated thunderstorms to be developing. Now, if they do develop, we'll see strong to severe thunderstorms because the atmosphere is really conducive on Wednesday into Thursday, for even more Wednesday into Thursday for producing severe weather. But I think the main event is really going to be Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We got a line of thunderstorms that are going to roll on through. It's going to produce damaging winds, large hail, probably the upwards of about ping pong size hail possible. Tornadoes are possible, and flooding and flash flooding is also possible Wednesday night into Thursday morning. It's going to be a very active night. And then as we get into the upcoming weekend, we're going to be talking about some slightly cooler but more seasonable weather. Now, as you step outside this morning, not only do we have a little bit of fog showing up here this morning, so if you happen to travel I-75 northbound between Campbell County, Scott, Anderson County, you're going to run into some patchy dense fog here to get the day started. Plus, when you look at the radar, we actually still have a little bit of activity out there already. And so this is what I'm talking about. If and when we can get some of this activity to develop throughout the day today, we'll see isolated strong to severe thunderstorms. Now, no severe weather out there this morning, but if you happen to travel Pellissippi Parkway, Hardin Valley area, Carnes community, moving its way towards, say, the Bearden area and Interstate 40, we've got a nice little cell that's going to slow some of you down here first thing this morning. But if you take a look at the big picture view, we do have some showers still ongoing across upper East Tennessee near Tri-Cities, Kingsport area, Johnson City, and it's moving its way over into Mountain City and Boone, North Carolina. That's about the extent of the rain so far this morning, but again, could be developing even more so throughout the afternoon. Temperatures as we get the day started are trending, a little bit cooler than yesterday. It's got a good feel to the air this morning, so nice, comfortable for sure. And it's going to be a warm day. So we start off with temperatures in the 60s. Now, here's that severe weather potential. We're going to really highlight the potential for severe weather. So pay attention, watch the maps. I'll walk you through everything that you need to know. We do have a level 1 and close to a level 2 for parts of Fentress, Scott, Campbell, and Claiborne County, a level 2 risk for strong to severe thunderstorms. Now, this risk goes over 24 hours, so this takes us from 8 o'clock this morning through 8 o'clock Wednesday morning, and subject to change throughout the day. As we saw yesterday, we did not have a severe weather risk when we did wake up with Witcher yesterday morning, and then that severe weather risk was issued by the Storm Prediction Center for the afternoon and early evening hours. And boy, I tell you what, I don't know if you saw my Facebook post, we had over 75 500 lightning strikes just in East Tennessee yesterday. Just here in East Tennessee. So the atmosphere, and that really lets us know that the atmosphere is primed for severe weather. All right, so here's your futurecast throughout the day today. We start off with just a couple of spotty showers here this morning. No severe weather this morning. But notice by noon, see the radar starting to pick up. Futurecast picking up on a little bit of radar returns, a few radar returns. Those are the ones that we're going to have to watch for. It's for the afternoon hours. Now, we have the atmosphere that's conducive for severe weather, so if we can tap into that atmosphere with a couple of these showers, they will likely become a little bit stronger, some gustier wind, some locally heavy rainfall, and maybe some hail out of those as well. Although I don't think hail is going to be super large throughout the day today, but that will change again tomorrow night into Thursday morning. All right. So by 7 o'clock here tonight, again, not a lot of activity. It's going to be very isolated in nature if we see anything at all. We start off with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. We'll climb into the upper 70s by lunchtime. And the forecast highs are going to be a little bit warmer than yesterday. Nearly 10 degrees warmer, actually. We're going to be in the low to maybe pockets of mid and upper 80s across the Southern Valley. Chattanooga forecasting about 87 degrees, 84 in Knoxville, 83 Tri-Cities, and 79 in the Crossville area. And that's going to make for a nice evening if you have evening plans as well. And again, if you have ball games tonight, I don't think that we're going to have a lot of activity around the area. But if you do see one, well, it's going to be super isolated in nature. As I mentioned, it is going to be rather breezy, a little gusty from time to time today. Nothing crazy, but the wind is definitely going to be picking up. So expect a breezy and gusty day today. All right, now let's take you from 7 o'clock here tonight through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we do have some activity that's anticipated overnight tonight. So do anticipate some showers and thunderstorms overnight tonight into the early morning hours. It's not going to be widespread. Not everyone's going to get the rain, I think, through sunrise, the sunrise hour. But because we have that severe weather threat, we do have, here's your threat levels from 7 o'clock through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, okay? So this takes us from this morning through 7 o'clock. This is what I'm thinking for your storm threats. If we see anything pop up at all, we have the possibility, medium category for 60-mile-per-hour winds or greater, so severe thunderstorm. Low end on tornadoes, although we still have an atmosphere that's kind of conducive for tornadoes that will ramp up throughout the day tomorrow. Medium category for possibly 1-inch diameter hail, but again, isolated in nature. And again, if we get some of these storms to develop today or tonight, isolated flooding, because now we've got a saturated ground with the rainfall that we saw yesterday. Here's tomorrow's risk. The Storm Prediction Center has upgraded us to a level 3. Level 3 risk. So there's only 5 categories in the risk levels from the Storm Prediction Center. And notice it's Interstate 40 North. That is going to be the location for the greatest potential for tornadoes to be possible, damaging winds, and large hail. Like I said, upwards of ping pong or maybe larger size hail there, and then a level 2 risk for the rest of East Tennessee. So let's walk you through the forecast. Here's your futurecast Wednesday morning. Tomorrow morning, picking up a couple of scattered showers, as I mentioned, through the morning hours. Now, as we go from Wednesday, 7 a.m. to noon, probably not a lot of activity. From noon to 3 o'clock, kids heading home from school, again, probably not a ton of activity. Although I will say, a little caveat in this is just one model forecast. Looking at the details this morning, some of the models are picking up on some single thunderstorms that may develop tomorrow afternoon. Now, when we get single thunderstorms, they could become more severe, okay? Because they don't have an environment from other thunderstorms to chew up that energy and take it away from the storms. And so when they're by themselves, they can pack more of a punch. And so again, we do have that risk for tornadoes tomorrow. So that takes us through 7 o'clock. So just through the day on Wednesday, this goes from 7 a.m. Wednesday through 7 p.m. Wednesday. I've got us back in the medium category for isolated strong to severe thunderstorms producing damaging winds greater than 60 miles per hour. I'm still going to keep the tornado threat on the low side due to the fact that these storms may not develop. However, if tomorrow morning I see that the high-resolution models are starting to pick up on some of those singular cells, that low category will likely go to a medium category, a moderate category for isolated tornadoes, okay? And we're going to keep the hail threat and the flash flooding threat in the medium category through the day tomorrow. Again, if we get those storms to fire. But the main event is going to come through tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. So here's your futurecast, 7 o'clock on Wednesday morning. And we're going to notice that we do have, again, not a lot of activity throughout the day on Wednesday. Now we'll go from 7 o'clock to midnight. and here comes the storm system, okay? And some of these, a lot of times these storms will pick up. So give or take about 2 or 3 hours on this, okay? Probably we'll probably speed up a little bit. That's typically the case with these storms. But we'll go from midnight to 2 a.m. Storms are going to start to roll on in. It's going to be a line of severe weather that's moving its way into the area. There's 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Oh, well, that would be Thursday morning. Now we'll go to 4 o'clock. Here comes the storms blasting on through the area. 5, 6, and 7 o'clock. So it is going to be a rather very stormy night Wednesday into Thursday morning. This is the time to tell you that, make sure if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, go download it today. It gives you all the push notifications you need from the National Weather Service to lightning data. And if I were to break in doing severe weather coverage, you'll get that push notification from me as well, letting you know that we are broadcasting live for severe weather coverage. So our storm threats, 7 p.m. Wednesday through 7 a.m. Thursday. Notice I've upped the tornado potential. We have a very, we have a tornado threat. It's just plain and simple. So I put the wind damage on the high category because a lot of times when we get these lines coming through in the overnight hours, they produce damaging winds more than anything. But it's called a QLCS, and so what that is you can get little spin ups, not little, but you can get spin ups within that main line, and that's what we'll have to watch closely. But definitely damaging winds. I'm going to throw hail on the high side as well, due to the fact that we could see ping pong size hail out of these storms. And also I'm going to throw the flooding and flash flood threat on the high side, but notice I've labeled it isolated. It's not going to be widespread, I don't think, but it just kind of depends on where the storms fire today, if we get them, where they fire tomorrow afternoon, if we get those, to leading into that line of severe weather tomorrow night into Thursday morning. That's really going to be the story. So again, isolated in nature for the potential for localized flooding and flash flood threat. Rainfall amounts through Thursday morning, just generally speaking, likely to get about 2 inches of rainfall. But if we continue to get storms today, tomorrow, and tomorrow night into Thursday morning, that will likely add up to maybe 3, 4, 5 inches in isolated locations, which is why I've got the flash flood threat on the isolated side, but the high side, because we have just the atmosphere to produce that. We got a lot of moisture in the atmosphere to work with. So, all right, then as we get into our Thursday and Friday, this goes from 8 o'clock in the morning Thursday through 8 o'clock in the morning Friday. Here we go again. A chance for isolated strong to severe thunderstorms. I don't think that we're going to see a whole lot, because I think a lot of this will be through Thursday morning, and then we should start to see improving conditions throughout the day on Friday. The Weather Prediction Center now, let's switch gears a little bit. So that's the severe side. The weather prediction side issues a flood or flash flood threat or risk level for the country. And for the next 24 hours, we're under level 1 risks. Like I mentioned, could see isolated flash flooding possible. And then tomorrow into Thursday morning, that's elevated, but still going to stick with us Thursday into Friday as we continue to track in more showers and more thunderstorms as the actual cold front swings its way through. And that's why we have that potential on into our Thursday as well. All right, so your 3-day forecast, we're going to see those temperatures go from the 80s down into the 70s. It is going to be a nice weekend for sure. I know we've got the Southern Skies Music Festival going on this weekend. So while we do have about a 20% chance for some showers over the weekend, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of activity, and it's going to be a lot more comfortable than those 80s. Perfect weather to enjoy some live music. All right, I do want to take you outside and show you the TDOT cameras here at this hour, so let's go ahead and show you that as we highlight the TDOT cameras and see if there's any accidents going on early this morning. So if you need to hit the road, by all means, you're more than welcome to hit the road if you got all the information that you need. But what we're going to continue to do is, let's see, that's Cedar Bluff. No, that's not Cedar Bluff. Where are we? All right, so what's going on over here? Interstate 40. We've got diversion route at exit 338, right there at Westall Road in Rockwood, reported at 544. Eastbound, no lanes blocked. So no lanes blocked, I guess. What does this say? Overturned vehicle right there at mile marker 341. And this is, again, on the eastbound is closed. So that's why they're diverting traffic right there on the eastbound lane. So I don't have any cameras out there, but this would be the eastbound lane. So if you're coming in from Cumberland County, you're going to run into this. You're going to be diverted off the interstate, and you'll be able to get back on some way, somehow. But of course, they're going to be, they'll show you, right? They'll let you know. All right, so let's get the cameras on and take a look at some of these cameras here this morning as we dive into the details right there through Central Knox County. That one's not working. That one apparently may not be working as well. So now we don't have cameras working this morning. All right, then. Nope. All right, T-Dot, thanks so much for the cameras. All right. Here we go. How's everybody doing this morning? Are we ready? Did you get, those rumbles and that thunder? Over 7,500 lightning strikes just through the day on yesterday. So by a show of hands on here, who does not have the East Tennessee Weather app? Who does not have the East Tennessee Weather app? If you don't have it, I can put links in the chat. I've also put it if you're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. I have put the links to download the East Tennessee Weather app right there in the post itself. So I can post it here on the chat as well if you want. But if you don't have it, I will walk you through the Futurecast, walk you through the app as well, because this is going to be a great tool, especially for those that are new to the program here this morning, that are chiming in because of the severe weather threat. Listen, the simple, easy cell phone app that you have on the free one that comes with your cell phones, great on a daily basis, right? Yeah, just quick and check it real quick. But what you're not going to get from those is severe weather coverage. You're not going to get the push notifications from the National Weather Service. You're not going to get the push notifications from me. And you don't get the video daily forecast updates from those apps as well. When it's sunny, quiet, and dry, fine. So be it, right? So again, go to the Google Play Store, the App Store, and search EastTN Weather, all one word, or click on the links that I've added. Remember, I'm on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube. I broadcast on all social media platforms from Twitter, and both my Facebook pages as well. So go subscribe to those pages. If you're a YouTuber, you'll get notifications when I do broadcast live on YouTube. So let's say good morning and see how everyone's doing. Man, that was some rain last night, says Pat's Pedals. Let's make that a little bit bigger. We need that bigger, don't we? There we go. So let's see. That was some rain last evening. Nice and clear here in La Follette this morning. Have a wonderful day. Well, we sure hope you have a wonderful day as well. Let's see. What else we got going on here? Any other questions? Chris, no need to apologize, man. I read between the lines. Let's see. All right. So good for you, Joby. Wish we could escape the East Tennessee weather as well, especially when we're talking about severe weather. You know, it's been a really quiet season so far, but as we talked about, coming out of the winter seasons into the spring seasons, the transition from an El Nino to a neutral or maybe even La Nina summer, we were anticipating a little bit more of a delayed severe weather season, and I feel like that's exactly where we are, because it's now, May 7th, and typically we get severe weather in the month of May, but I think this is the kind of storms that we're going to be watching a little bit more, maybe a little bit more frequently as we progress through the month of May. So we'll see how that all plays out. Good morning, Claudia. She's joining us from Vonore this morning. Glad you could join us this morning. By the way, any Witcher's weather watchers, be on standby here over the next couple of days. I'm not saying that you have to stay up until 4 in the morning tomorrow night into Thursday, but I definitely will be. So it's going to be a long night for me for sure, but you couldn't see the maps? Could you not see the maps? Did I just go through that whole thing and you didn't see the maps? Is that true? I had the maps on. I didn't have the maps on, did I? I promise you, my friends, there are gremlins in the studio every single day. Every day there are technological gremlins in the studio every day. Well, that's a big bummer. Thanks for that. I wish I would have caught that a little bit sooner. I was on preview mode. I guess I got to switch these. Take the preview mode over here. Take the actual display and live mode on this side. I've changed things up a little bit in the studio here this morning to make it a little bit easier, but clearly that did not work this morning. So let's go ahead and recap, shall we? Let's recap all the weather so you can actually see what is going on. All right. Everybody's watching going, what are you talking about, Witcher? Well, you got the information, right? Let's see. All right, let's just go through the forecast. I'll try to catch up on chat, but let's just get to the work with the forecast. It's 7:21, by the way. And remember those eastbound lanes right there. in right around Rockwood are closed. You're going to be diverted if you're coming into town on the eastbound lanes from Cumberland County. So if storms develop today, they could become strong to severe. Okay, we're just going to repeat myself. A few afternoon and evening thunderstorms possible, but that line of severe weather moves in tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Thank you so much for letting me know that the maps were not working. All right, so now they are. Now you can see them. We do have some patchy, dense fog out there this morning. Temperatures are now a little bit cooler than yesterday. We're now currently in the 60s. So we are under a level 1 and level 2 risk for strong to severe thunderstorms throughout the day today into tomorrow. This goes over 24 hours, okay, through tomorrow morning. I don't anticipate a ton of activity. It's going to be very isolated in nature, but I think if we do see anything fire up, the atmosphere is conducive for producing strong to severe thunderstorms. And you can see how we have that southerly fetch and that southerly flow of moisture. So if we can get those to develop, they could become strong to severe. Temperatures this morning started off in the 50s and 60s. We climb into the upper 70s as we get into the lunch hour. Forecast highs again back into the low, mid, and upper 80s. As we get into the evening hours, if you have ball games or whatnot, it should be just fine for the most part. Again, isolated in nature if we see anything at all, but I don't think we'll have a ton of activity here tonight. And it is going to be on the breezier and gustier side throughout the day today. Now, overnight tonight, we do have a chance for some scattered showers. Remember that severe weather risk goes until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And so as this fetch of moisture moves its way on in and these disturbances start to settle on in, we could see a chance for some isolated strong thunderstorms tonight while we're sleeping. When you look at the severe weather threat, tornadoes are going to be on the low side, but possible because we have an atmosphere conducive for that. But damaging winds, the hail, and the localized flooding and flash flood threat is definitely a possibility as well as we continue to see a very saturated atmosphere now with the rain that we saw yesterday with over an inch of rain in some locations. That's what we're talking about. So if we get more rounds and rounds of rain over the same locations, we do have that flooding or flash flood potential there. All right, so then tomorrow into Thursday morning, we have a level 2 and a level 3 risk. There are only 5 risks out of the Storm Prediction Center. A level 3 risk is right along Interstate 40 and northward. That's where the greatest tornado potential will be, okay? So if you live anywhere along 40 or north, and that does include Knox County, Jefferson, Hamblen County up into Hawkins County, Hancock, as well as Claiborne, Fentress, Cumberland, Morgan, Scott. So anybody north of Interstate 40, tomorrow night and Thursday morning, you have the greater potential. I should say tomorrow through Thursday. And here's what I'm talking about. Again, this model forecast is not necessarily picking up on a lot of activity tomorrow, but some of the high-resolution forecast models are. Individual cells or individual thunderstorms that would develop. And if they do develop in this kind of an atmosphere tomorrow, they would likely become severe. We had a lot of special weather statements yesterday. We had several severe thunderstorm warnings yesterday. But again, this model forecast is not necessarily picking up on a ton of activity tomorrow. And I don't necessarily think that it is going to be a ton per se. But if they do go, they will go quickly and they will likely go severe. So something to keep in mind. So through 7 o'clock Wednesday night, here's your threat. I'm still going to keep the tornado potential on the low side. However, with that said, we do have a potential for tornadoes tomorrow from sunrise to sunset. Due to the fact that we have got some spin in the atmosphere, wind shear. We've got a powerful jet stream moving in overhead. That's going to help to evacuate the air above, which helps to create extra lift in the atmosphere, high dew points, and so you need the moisture, you need the lift. So we've got all those things taking place. If they develop throughout the day tomorrow, medium categories for wind, hail, and the flood threat. Tornado, again, going to be on the low side only for the fact that it's going to be isolated in nature. But again, if I wake up tomorrow morning with Wake Up with Witcher and we say, okay, it looks like we're going to get a little bit more of those singular cells developing tomorrow, then that tornado threat's going to go up to likely a medium category. Now, as we go from tomorrow night into Thursday morning, this is what I was talking about that you couldn't clearly see on the screen, and I do apologize. Here's midnight tomorrow night, and this is likely to speed up just a little bit. Take it to 2 o'clock in the morning, and again, we are going to continue to see a line of thunderstorms. So this is called a QLCS. And with that, you'll get damaging winds, large hail, and these are the kind of storms that you could get little spin-ups to be developing. And so that would be 3 o'clock in the morning Thursday. We'll go 4 o'clock in the morning. 5, 6, and 7, we're going to be hanging on to the storms. Now, again, this could speed up a little bit because a lot of times they do, so do anticipate that. I'm just starting with this model. We're going to go midnight. Tomorrow night is basically the onset of the event, but could speed up to maybe 10 to 11 o'clock at night. But here's the deal. I've changed the storm threats due to that system. 7 o'clock Wednesday through 7 a.m. Thursday, I've put the wind damage on the high side, We've got a high category for hail and also flooding and flash flooding. And I'm going to throw tornadoes into the moderate or medium category. And here's the reason why, because we have a lot of spin in the atmosphere. I took some notes. Let me see if I can find my notes here. So from 6 to 9Z, so let's see, 12Z would be 8, 7, 6. So basically from like 3 to like 7 o'clock in the morning, basically. Well, we'll just go after midnight. We have good solid shear. And we've got a low LCL, which means a lifted condensation level. Tornadoes, they've done research in years past where the lower the lifted condensation level is, i.e. where the cloud deck would form, the greater tornado potential or tornado genesis. That has been research that has been done. And so as that LCL comes down closer to the ground, our tornado potential goes up. So again, we do have that moderate category for tornadoes. Now, when you look at the rainfall forecast, again, just take this with a grain of salt because this is just kind of broad brushing. But I think easily many of us could pick up over 2 inches of rainfall. But if we get storms today, if you get storms tomorrow, and then tomorrow night's storm system, we could see anywhere from maybe 3, 4, 5 inches of rainfall in isolated locations. And that's the story. And those are the locations that would see the potential for some localized flooding and flash flooding. And then from Thursday morning through Friday morning, cold front swings through. So we still have a chance for some isolated strong to severe thunderstorms, with that flash flood risk being on level 1 today, a level 1 and 2 tomorrow, and back to a level 1 on into our Thursday. So the ground's going to be saturated, and that flash flood threat does increase across the area. 3-day forecast, we're going to be in the 80s all the way through Thursday, 70s on into our Friday. But the big picture, all the way from Texas to the Great Lakes, you can see the bullseye today. Into tomorrow is going to be across Ohio, Indiana, and northern Kentucky. That's the bullseye anyways. And then a big old bullseye for severe weather. We'll see what the Storm Prediction Center does. Do they increase that risk in an isolated location somewhere in between St. Louis, Memphis, say northern Arkansas up into Kentucky as a level 4 risk? Maybe. We'll see how this all evolves over time. And then as the cold front slides its way to our south and southeast, that's what's going to bring in that risk for strong to severe thunderstorms to the south and southeast. So that's going to be the storm system that will bring the risk for severe weather. Let's see. Thanks, forecaster Tanner. I didn't get it. I saw my text messages go off, but I didn't see that, so I apologize. All right, so I'm just going to run this into motion. You'll kind of see how the evolution of this whole system takes place as we see some good, strong southwesterly flow bringing in the showers and thunderstorms, but there's the cold front, and that's what's going to spark off the showers and thunderstorms and bring in that line of severe weather tomorrow night. So elevated rain chances. Minimal today, but elevated tomorrow on the Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're going to take those rain chances and really kind of knock those down. Temperatures will stay above average all the way through Thursday, and then below average temperatures Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even on into our Monday. Average high for this time of year is now 77. We're warming up, my friends. And low temperatures will be, the coolest morning comes through on Saturday morning, but it is going to be a cooler, more comfortable mornings as we get into the upcoming weekend with temperatures in the 40s and 50s for lows. And again, here's how you do it. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. Go to the Google Play Store, the App Store, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube. Search East TN Weather. It's everything you need to know for East Tennessee weather. And if you've not downloaded the app or asked somebody who has downloaded the app, I think a lot will say, listen, that's a pretty solid app. And I'm not just saying that. I've downloaded a lot of weather apps over the years. And I do think I love the push notifications from this app. I love the lightning data. Lightning data is going to give you the first indication that storms are moving on in, because you'll get a push notification that lightning is within 15 miles of your location. So make sure you have your GPS turned on. Make sure you have push notifications turned on with the app, and check in every once in a while on how things all play out. I do a daily forecast, whether it be a quick one and a long one. So Look Rock's looking nice. We do have mostly cloudy skies. Current temperature is now 63 degrees currently in the Look Rock area. All right. So was that a little bit better? Did you get the maps? Did you see that? Did you see that gremlin go by? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Right? Thanks, Chris. It's like Braille all over again. Oh my gosh. I know. I think I need to, Tom. I think I need to. Well, I've moved things around a little bit, and I unhooked everything yesterday, and now I've reconfigured it all. So now we're back at it. Good morning, Linda, joining us from Harlan County, Kentucky. I mean, listen, you got to see my beautiful face just sit there and talk. Just talk. And it's not so beautiful, so. Katrina got her notifications yesterday, so that's good. Glad you got that. And I'm glad everything's back to working. So I just want you to stay on top of the weather situation as we head through the next three days. It is going to be very active. It's going to be busy for me, not for you. Just stay weather alert and have a way to receive that weather information and make sure you stay on top of everything else. All right. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of severe weather potential going on. Obviously, we've got some gremlins in the studio here this morning as well. But, you know what it is. Now, I don't even know if you're hearing that sound, so let me know if you're hearing that music this morning. Katrina, you have a good day, too. It's time, my friends, for today's holidays. Shall we talk about them? Today's national holidays. Let's see what kind of holidays we have today, shall we? All right, it's National Tourism Day. That's nice. We have huge tourism right in our own backyard. National Foster Care Day. That is great. Wouldn't have some of the amazing kids that we have without some of the great foster parents. And if you're a foster parent, celebrate the day for you, because that's a special thing that you all do. National Packaging Design Day. All right, that's interesting. National Barrier Awareness Day. National Roast Leg of Lamb Day. National Roast Lamb of Leg Day. Couldn't you just say National Let's Roast the Leg of Lamb? Seems a weird way to say it. National Paste Up Day. Let's see what that is. I have no idea what that is. National Paste Up Day on May 7th each year remembers the time before desktop publishing and computerized digital imaging, when many publications were completed by hand. That's true. They also remembers those who worked so tediously in their positions. That's pretty cool stuff. Back in the old school, right? The old print days. And National A Teacher Appreciation Day. That, my friends, deserves an applause. And what are you talking about there, Cody? I didn't know what you're talking about, Cody, but if there's somebody on here. Yeah, you're right. This is not the place for that, Jeremiah. We're not here for conspiracies. We're here for weather, information, talk, and fun. So if that's not what you want to do, probably don't need to be on this platform. But thank you, Cody. And if you do, I mean, there's other platforms for that for sure. Yeah, but Jeremiah, let's talk about some other stuff, shall we? Let's be kind to each other. Let's be positive. Let's get the information out that our community needs, and that would be severe weather potential that we're talking about here over the next couple of days. And we're not here to do anything other than that. Go to some other platforms if you want to do some of that other stuff. But anyways, not going to talk about that anymore. Appreciate you joining, Jeremiah, but let's talk about some other stuff. If you have other questions or comments or concerns, please fire away. Otherwise, we'll have to go another direction with you. All right. That's right. Let's be chill, says Chris. Let's be chill. We're here to have fun, right, fam? Right, family? We're here to have fun. Steve says, good wet morning from Kingsport this morning. All right, let's do this. I think I know what happened here. Okay. Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie, stay weather alert here. Yeah, obviously, the Cumberland Plateau has a little bit of a greater risk for more severe weather potential as we go into the next several days. So something to keep in mind, but I appreciate you, Stephanie. That's right, Kimberly. Nothing but fun here. Nothing but fun. That's what we're all about. All right, my friends, if you don't have any questions, we'll check in on traffic once again here. Yeah, that's right, Tammy. That's right. Let's tell everybody we're here for fun and information and family. I can talk about that, Jeremiah. Sure. So Jeremiah's asking if Oklahoma got severe storms. Let's go back to the big picture. I'll actually highlight this and take you to the big picture because I can show you where we had all of our storm reports yesterday. So this will really give us a good idea of our storms that we had yesterday. I mean, look at the storms. Look at how much weather we had just over the last 24 hours across the entire country. I mean, absolutely mind-blowing. Let's see. We had quite a few storms. I can't take off tornadoes, but there is Oklahoma. Yeah, Oklahoma. So just north of Oklahoma City, we had quite a few tornadoes. Had tornadoes up towards Tulsa, south of Fayetteville, southern Kansas, central and northern Kansas as well. That's where we had the tornadoes. We had one also in where did that go? Let's see. Let's get that off. Let's bring that back on. I don't know why you're not going away. Go away. We don't want you anymore. All right, so we also had some in Missouri, Arkansas. We had tornadoes there. And then the ones in Middle Tennessee, too. So we had storms in Middle Tennessee that were producing storms. And one on the ground over towards, this was near Smithville, right over the Smithville area, just to the west of Sparta, and one to the south and east of Gallatin. And so the atmosphere is primed. We also had hail throughout Middle Tennessee, upwards of 2 inches in diameter, being reported to the National Weather Service. And so we had quite a bit of activity. And here in East Tennessee, we had some hail being reported, about 1.5 inches, so about ping pong size hail in Gatlinburg. Did you see I posted that yesterday? We actually, I have a camera in downtown Gatlinburg. We had that one cell that zipped right through downtown Gatlinburg into Cott County, and that's what produced the hail. Actually, I'll tell you what, watch this. We're going to go back 12 hours. Look at this. So I can go back 12 hours. So this is that storm. Let's see. That would have been earlier in the day. We need to go back a little. We'll go back 24 hours. I can go back 24 hours. So this will give you an idea of how everything played out yesterday. We pick up the timeline yesterday morning at this hour, 7:39. So we saw a round of showers and thunderstorms yesterday. This is past radar. This is not happening now. Then that round moved its way on out. That's when the Storm Prediction Center said, wait a second, we could see more activity. Let's issue a slight risk for severe storms, or a marginal risk anyways. They issued a marginal risk. There's that storm right there that produced the hail in Gatlinburg. You can see how we didn't have any hail reports. And then watch this. As we move into motion, boom! Hail reports moved its way through Cott County, up into Greene County, towards Johnson City. That storm just held together. And then we had quite a bit of activity yesterday evening, so we'll go back again. And yesterday evening, we had some good activity as well. I mean, the skies were lighting up. Again, we had over 7,500 lightning strikes when I posted that image yesterday, just around East Tennessee. So the atmosphere was primed for sure for seeing severe weather. No doubt about that. Let's see. Thank you, Cody. Probably hot and muggy. Probably hot and muggy, Eva. Oh, there we go. That's a good idea, Chris. Anyone leaving home right now this morning, beware of downed limbs. Had to move Minnie out of the way just to get to work this morning. Debbie says she's not going to lie. She's a little nervous about the storms over the next couple of days, but I would tell you just to stay on top of the situation, stay weather alert, and have those push notifications turned on. We sure hope everyone has a great day as well. Michelle in Wild Tree Lane in South Knoxville. Lee's off to the golf course this morning. Great. Great. Let's see what else. So Jorge says, good morning from South Blunt County. My app worked just fine last night. It kept informing me notifications work just fine. That's awesome to hear, Jorge. Love it. Love that you get those push notifications. And on my Facebook page, so on Twitter and the East Tennessee Weather Facebook page, those auto-populate severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado, or any warning, okay? So if you want to see any warnings that are populated, go subscribe to the East Tennessee Weather page or join Mike Witcher TV on Twitter, because you'll automatically get those severe thunderstorm warnings. Plus, if you're in the path of the storm, of course, the app will push a notification based on your GPS location. All right, let's bring this back to the current time. We don't need to go back 24 hours anymore. And again, we have one little cell moving its way through downtown Knoxville right now. We'll take off that. We don't have any storm reports, so we're getting some pretty good showers moving their way through the Asbury area community, Burlington. So these are all neighborhoods. Some of these are neighborhoods. So you'll notice Island Home area, South Knoxville. So you'll notice quite a few neighborhoods. So when we do severe weather tracking, know your neighborhoods, know the neighborhoods around you, know roads. We will be talking much more about that in a lot more detail as we dive into those over the next several days. But really a nice little sunrise taking shape here this morning. And it's been nice to have a little bit of a quieter start to the day. Klingman's dome's not. Yeah, that is working. So let's go back to. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice as well. So a few crepuscular rays shining through. A little bit of fog over into North Carolina. That's a gorgeous view from Look Rock. I like the Purchase Knob view. I don't know about you. Let's see if the East Tennessee weather cameras are working. We'll take you to downtown Gatlinburg. Is that working this morning? It is. So downtown Gatlinburg is working, and a nice quiet start to the day. Is Orange Hat working this morning? Maybe it is. So overcast gray, Orange Hat's working nicely. And also the East Tennessee Weather app. Or not app, the East Tennessee Weather camera. You can see those clouds zipping right on by from screen right to screen left. But I will say that Orange Hat one's a nice view, and it's got some nice music attached to it too. Can't go wrong with that. I don't think we need music on that. So Anyways, my friends, listen, just again, have a way to receive weather information here over the next several days. Thank you so much for joining me on the broadcast. If anything does pop up here over the next couple of days, due to the fact that we have the potential for severe weather, I will likely go live. Yesterday, due to the marginal risk, I can't go live for every severe thunderstorm warning, but due to the atmosphere being a little bit more conducive to more primed severe weather, or the atmosphere is primed, I should say, for severe weather, I will likely do a few more break-ins. So make sure you check in on social media every once in a while. Go like and follow the Mike Witcher TV Facebook page, as well as the East Tennessee Weather Facebook page. East Tennessee Weather Facebook page is just all weather. All the time, okay? The Mike Witcher TV Facebook page is weather, but I don't inundate you, hopefully not too much with weather. When it's important, I'm going to throw a bunch of stuff on there. When it's not important, we're not going to do a whole lot, but you also get some Witcher's adventures and some Mike Witcher shenanigans, right? Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to get these gremlins on out of here. You know that, right? We are going to have to get these gremlins on out of here. We can't have these. Is that coming in loud enough? Can't have these gremlins in here. So we'll be working on stuff in the background, getting ready for the potential for severe weather. Enjoy some hit and miss sunshine. Enjoy the beautiful weather. And if you need to head off to work, you're more than welcome to head off to work. We are going to do a little test right now. The music is cued. Thanks, Tom, for chiming in for the music cue. Cue the music. Tom's coming in. We're going to do a little bit of testing here this morning because yesterday, so if you want to join in and help us test this out, that'd be greatly appreciated. Yesterday, we were testing the live. So I do a Witcher's Weather Watchers. Okay, so we've got what, Tom? I think, let me pull Tom to the conversation here. Let's see if we can't get Tom in here. See if I can get you in here, Tom. There's a cool view right there. There's our cameras. And now let's get Tom in here. Maybe.
Yay.
Maybe, Tom. Hold on. We're going to try. I don't have you on yet. Back to live mode. we're going to do this. So there's the Weather Center, if anybody's curious about that. So we're going to do this. Tom, let's get you the broadcast and see if there's Tom. There you are, bud. All right, so let us know if you have any sort of echo. That's what we were trying to figure out yesterday. Is this something that you'll see very similar as we do severe weather? And if Tom or Julie or Eli or, geez, who else? I don't have everybody's names memorized yet. See if we get any echo. So, Tom, take it away. Talk about the storms last night in your community.
Oh, good morning, Mike in East Tennessee. The storms last night from here in Carnes and Powell were amazing. Just the lightning views and everything going on. We got the initial indication with strikes on Sharps Ridge. I got a good view of Sharps Ridge from here at the house in Carnes. And then that one cell that started off in Roane County coming through Loudon heading towards just off the Farragut. That produced a great lightning show last night. I wish I had my slow-mo camera put up. I would post that, but that's going up today to catch the next storm. Other than that, it was a really, really awesome night. Got to talk with a bunch of good friends that we made over the Weather Watchers chat. So all said and done. So how's the audio, people? We doing good?
Everyone's saying no echo.
Whee! Yay! I did disconnect the Facebook app first this time, so I don't know if that was the cause or not.
Maybe that was the cause. You had Facebook going at the same time as you did this?
I had it running in the background. When I switched from Facebook to the browser, it automatically cuts out the other program.
Okay,
I just
cool.
made sure I had that turned off this time just to eliminate that possibility.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we don't have the echo, so that's good. So now maybe we got that fixed up. Any other Witchers Weather Watchers on here that want to chime in? That got the push notification that I sent out? Maybe you didn't get it. Not quite sure. Let's see. Who else is on here that would join in? Because I can get up to 10 of you on the screen at the same time, Tom.
That's awesome.
And your picture, you're not like super skinny.
No,
but you're not. Yeah, I said that the wrong way, Tom. I apologize.
I got thick skin, boss. But I did appreciate the Witchers Weather Weight Watchers program I was on yesterday.
The Witchers Weather Weight Watchers program. I think Chris is the one who said that one yesterday. Chris, that was solid.
That was awesome.
Looks like we fixed it. There we go. Chris is saying, Tommy.
Oh.
Is it Tom, Chris. Thomas, or Tommy, Tom? Which one is it?
Tom there. There's only one person that can call me Tommy, and she's flying with the angels.
There we go. Okay, so watch this. This is going to be really cool. So Julie has just now chimed in. So now we're going to get Julie in here. And so this is going to be really cool. So there's Julie right there. And Julie, we're going to get you in here in a second. So now we'll go publish. And there's Julie. Julie,
hey.
Talk. Hi.
See how exciting this is, my friends?
Yeah, hi. I'm here at work, so darn.
Well, how were those storms yesterday in Hamlin County?
Oh, it was kind of rough there for about 20 minutes. We had a lot of wind and heavy rain, but no hail or anything.
That's good. Yeah, we didn't have a ton of hail. I mean, we had a couple of those storms, like the one in Gatlinburg produced quite a bit of hail. I know Eli was joining us. We were chatting yesterday with the group. We have a nice little text thread of the Witchers Weather Watchers, which, by the way, this would be the time to say, hey, listen, if you love weather and you want to become a storm spotter with the National Weather Service, you can take a virtual online Skywarn Storm Spotter program. It's super easy to do. So I can throw the link back into the chat if you want. But it's you learn about the weather, you become certified with the National Weather Service. You can send me your certification, like these two have, and then you can actually become part of a Witchers Weather Watcher. So during severe weather events, this is going to be great because, I mean, I could talk all day long, you know that, but it's nice to get the information and the ground truth. Which, listen, I've talked to the National Weather Service guys, and they're all for this. They said this is only going to help us out when it comes to severe weather because we'll have more ground truth from our community members.
Yeah, the class was great. I attended the class with Morristown the National Weather Service. They had it at Walder State, and I attended the class. The class was great.
That's so
And I
awesome.
did the online, and it took me about an hour or so to do it. And I had my recertification done, which the certification is good for 2 years.
2 years.
But I had my
Yeah.
recertification done about an hour and a half, and within 24 hours, I had my updated card in the email. So
That's
it's an easy process, and
that's
all the answers
amazing.
for the test are in the program.
And you get to learn so much more about weather, which is really, really cool. I think, especially if you just really have been wanting to learn about weather, or some who was it? Somebody earlier said they were really nervous about the storms. I'm trying to think who that was, but if you are nervous about storms, it's just a good way to understand and learn how the atmosphere works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Julie, I don't want to make you late for work, but I do appreciate you chiming in. We don't have an echo this morning, and so of course they're going to be on standby. For severe weather possible here over the next several days. And Kat, go take your test. Go take your test.
Thank you, Mike.
So, Elise, I'll put the link. So, Julie, you can drop off. Guys, you can drop off whenever you'd like. You can stay and chat with me all morning long. This is a lot nicer than just chatting by myself and trying to read a chat that's delayed. And they're gone. That's okay. We'll come back to... Elise, let me go ahead and get that for you. I will put that into the chat here in just a second. So you'll be able to click on this link. You'll be able to take the virtual Skywarn Storm Spotter program class. And when you do, send me a copy of... Let's see if I can't get it in here. Then you'll be able to send me a copy of everything, and we'll get you part of the Witcher's Weather Watcher. So I'm going to drop this in right now, Elise. So paste. There you go. All right, just dropped into the chat right there. And so there's the link right there, my friends. So I just put that on the chat itself. So go click on that link. That will take you to the National Weather Service's page for the Skywarn Storm Spotter program. And then you'll be able to join Witcher's Weather Watchers, and let me know, what county you're coming from, so I can really have an idea where everyone's coming from. And then I'll bring you on to the group chat messages that we have, so we can all stay in the know together. Cody said it took you about 2 hours to complete the course, then took about 2 days for them to email my certificate and card. Good to know. Good morning, TK. That'd be Tom, my friend. That's Tom. Sure hope you have a good day today, bud. Anything you're doing today? Are you gonna have your food truck anywhere, Tom? Let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Kimberly. Move on, gremlins. We don't want you anymore. Len says, good morning. I was up in the wee hours watching live Oklahoma City weather reporting. My friend has a cellar but can't get signals there, so has no idea what's coming. She can get text messages, but can't tell when it's safe to... Let me get that back on there. When it's safe to come out. A small tornado went right over her, as well as a very impressive gust front. It was a wild all through Oklahoma, Kansas, they've been just walloped with severe weather so far this season. Bonnie says her app kept her informed, so that's good. Elise says, are tornadoes going to be a big concern with the storms over the next 2 days, do you think? Yes. I do think that the tornado potential is definitely going to be elevated. We've got a lot of shear. So that's wind changing speed and direction with height. So we've got a lot of shear in the atmosphere. And that's what's going to help to bring us rotating supercell thunderstorms. Our supercell thunderstorm potential is at like 80% probabilities. So that's really elevated. So supercells are going to be likely. Now, do you get tornadoes out of all supercells? No, you don't. But tornadoes are going to be likely, or not, I shouldn't say likely, probable in the environment that we have. So, if you have kids, if you have folks around the, and I'm not talking today per se, so I'm not talking today, but it's going to ramp up tomorrow into tomorrow night and Thursday morning. That's going to be the greatest tornado potential. It would be basically through the day tomorrow and tomorrow night. But if you were with me earlier, I said if we can get a storm to fire today, it'll likely go severe with maybe some hail and damaging wind and localized heavy rainfall, leading to the potential for some localized flooding. Tomorrow, through the day, from sunrise to sunset, if we can get some supercells to develop way ahead of this main line, those will likely go severe. Now, with the main line coming through, these always produce damaging winds and and torrential downpours, not to mention incredible amounts of lightning. But we also have an atmosphere conducive for tornadoes. And so with this main line coming through, I'll show you what it looks like on the screen again. Let me take you back to the weather maps here. If I'm going to talk about it, I might as well talk about it, right? And show you. And I appreciate the questions, the conversation here, but let's go back to, let me get it on screen. So we have, okay. So I'm just going to go through the risk for severe weather, okay? So today we have a level 1 and level 2 risk for severe storms. Now, this takes us all the way through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So I'm not necessarily expecting a lot of severe weather today. I'm not expecting a lot of coverage today. And you can see my model forecast. There's just one model. But picking up on the fact that even by lunchtime, probably not a lot of activity, but from noon on, as we heat up the atmosphere, we destabilize the atmosphere. That's what could produce some isolated thunderstorms. Now, I don't think it's going to be widespread, isolated in nature, but because of the atmosphere, it'll likely become strong or severe pretty quickly. We've got a lot of buoyancy in the atmosphere, so if we can tap into that buoyancy, those things will shoot up pretty quickly. So that's through the day today. So again, not a ton of activity today. It's going to be warm, it's going to be breezy, but we do have a chance for some isolated strong thunderstorms. But that's also not just today. Remember, I said that goes over 24 hours. It goes us through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So here's your timeline, 7 o'clock tonight through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And again, we do have a few showers and a few thunderstorms possible that could produce locally heavy rainfall, some hail, and some strong gustier winds. But it's not going to be super widespread. So when you look at the severe weather potential, or the storm threats anyways, through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, over the next 24 hours, this is what I'm talking about. So I'm going to keep the tornado potential on the low side. It is possible, because for the most part, anytime we have severe weather, it's always possible to get a tornado. But I'm going to keep that on the low category. Medium category for hail, wind, and localized or isolated flooding or flash flooding. That's going to be just through the next 24 hours. Now let's go through the next 24 hours, okay? So we'll go Wednesday morning through Thursday morning, and we have a level 2 and a level 3 risk for severe weather potential by the Storm Prediction Center. I think Interstate 40 North is likely to be a little bit more conducive for tornadic activity. Interstate 40 South, a little bit less. But when we're talking about a tornado threat, it's a tornado threat, right? So here's your story for Wednesday. Start off with maybe a couple of spotty showers tomorrow morning, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. We're going to have thunderstorms. That is definitely going to be the story. But heading through lunchtime tomorrow, probably not a lot of activity. And this model forecast is not showing a lot of activity as well. But some models indicating that we have some isolated thunderstorms that could develop tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening, way ahead of the main line, okay? If with that strong southerly flow, if we do get anything to fire up tomorrow through the day, it'll likely become severe. Let me show you a different model forecast. We're just going to do this. Actually, I have it up here. See if we can get this on. Maybe I have it. I don't have it, but what I can do is I can do this. I can do something better. I'll just show you a little bit. I'll just show you a few things. So bear with me here. Okay. I'm just going to bring this up on the screen. So there's that. Okay. So this is the College of DuPage. This is what I use to broadcast not severe, but this is what I use to forecast storms and just forecast the weather. Anyways, this is the latest model. This would be the 11Z model from the HRRR. And so as I go through time, you'll see through the day today. So it doesn't go out very far because we don't have enough model data yet. Let's go to the 10Z. So this will go out a little bit further. So this is your forecast for the day today. This is a high resolution, short range model forecast. And so see how a couple of those cells are starting to fire today, right in here. So that takes us to 19Z. So you're like talking like 3 o'clock in the afternoon right there. If we do, and so just an FYI, this is East Tennessee, right where that is. That's where we're looking, okay? So if we can get a single cell to fire today, it will likely become strong or severe. Then look at overnight tonight. We'll have just a little bit of activity, but not a ton. So the high resolution model doesn't go out very far. That's why as we get into these high resolution models, we'll have a better handle on how things all play out. Let me take you to a different high resolution model. This goes out a little bit further in time. Again, also picking up on maybe a little bit of activity. There's also, let's see, 14, 15. So not a ton of activity today from this one, but as we head into the overnight hours, this takes us into tomorrow morning. Again, a little bit of activity possible right through here. Oops, we don't want to do that. So we have to watch for that. But again, isolated in nature, not expecting a ton. And then as we get into the day tomorrow, so this is tomorrow afternoon. If we can get in, see these like little single cells. Let's quit doing that. Why does it keep doing that? See these little single cells right there that are trying to develop with the high resolution models? Those are the ones that we'll have to watch for closely because those are the ones that would produce, probably a potential for more severe weather, but we'll watch it closely. And then it's really tomorrow night. See how this all plays out tomorrow night into Thursday morning. So when you look at your tornado potential, this is called the SIGTOR potential. You can see anything shaded in green, not too conducive, but the atmosphere is there because we've got wind shear in the atmosphere. But it's really the yellows, oranges, and reds. So you can see how those you see where severe weather is going to be breaking out throughout the day today. That's why we have that tornado potential off to our west. That's going to be a busy day across this part of the country. Right through here. That's going to be very busy today. This takes us all the way through about 8 o'clock here tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time. And then we'll head into the overnight hours. Again, not much for us here in East Tennessee. It's mostly to our west. But then as we head into tomorrow, this is tomorrow afternoon, see how we have some of these yellows and oranges and reds around the Cumberland Plateau, north of Interstate 40, even down towards Chattanooga. That's our SIGTOR potential. But do we have storms firing at that point? So we may have the potential, but do we actually have storms firing? So we'll switch over to the reflectivity. Keep your eye on the same spot. Not a ton, right? Doesn't look like we have a ton of activity, but we'll see what that does. Because if these go down here across the southern valley of the plateau, they could become severe. Let's go back to the tornado potential. And now let's go into, you see how the tornado potential is going to be across middle and west Tennessee? That's what I was saying. I wouldn't be surprised if the Storm Prediction Center upgrades parts of Kentucky, maybe west and middle Tennessee into a level 4 risk for severe storms. Got a level 3 risk, but it's pretty broad and pretty broad brushed. But now we head into Thursday morning, and there's our potential right there. Okay? So based on the model guidance, now you've got your tornado potential right there, elevated for sure, stretching all the way down to northern Alabama and southern middle Tennessee, or southern Mississippi, I should say. But then you come over to the precipitation, and do we have storms firing in that environment? So keep an eye on where we're looking at, switch over, and we do. And so that's what we need to watch for. That's where the potential comes in from. So I think either way, damaging winds, large hail, and torrential downpours definitely likely with this. But spin-ups are possible with this kind of a setup. And so that's something that we're going to be watching very, very closely here over the next several days. Man, I'll tell you what, you guys are rocket stars here this morning. Let me catch up on chat and see if there's anything I've missed. Let's see. Right, Tom? Or right, Chris? Let's see. Charles, I posted it in the chat. So just a little bit ago, right here, just a few chats up from you, I posted the link to take the weather course, the Skywarn Storm Spotter course with the National Weather Service. So just scroll up a little bit, you'll find that link, or just go to the Weather Service's main page. Just Google NWS MRX, but it'd be a lot easier to do this. All right. Let's see. Tom's making some burgers today, I guess. You're very welcome, Elise. You're very welcome. Krista says, do you think it will be as bad as the beginning of last month when the tornado hit Sunbright? Yeah, I do, actually, because, and I'll say why. I do because our whole atmosphere is way more conducive for tornadoes, especially through the day tomorrow night, and a Thursday morning than what we were with the Sunbright tornado. First of all, second of all, we've got much more of a powerful jet stream coming on through. That's going to help to really drive these storms, but also because we have the flooding and flash flooding potential. And because this line of storms is going to come through tomorrow night into Thursday morning, we get damaging winds. And so, you know, I when I go talk to classes all the time, Elise, and talk to groups, I said, listen, when you look at the grand scheme of things, I don't ever want you to let your guard down, okay? I'm going to show you something while we're talking. But I don't ever want you to let your guard down. But because tornadoes are possible. Let's see. But the deal is there are certain counties around East Tennessee that have not had as many tornadoes as other counties over basically 75 years. Okay, this is from 1950 to 2023. You can see places like Campbell County, they've only had one tornado in 75 years. Union County, only 2. Hamlin, Hancock, Hawkins, only 2 or 3. So again, there are certain counties for some reason or another that are a little bit more conducive to see tornadoes than other counties. So pick out your county, whatever county you live in, say, okay, now listen, I'm saying this for a reason. I don't want you to just be fixated on any sort of tornado threat. Okay? I'd rather you be fixated on the severe weather potential as a whole. Damaging winds, large hail, torrential downpours that could lead to localized flooding and flash flooding. That's a bigger story than the tornadoes. We don't live in Kansas or Missouri or Arkansas or Nebraska or, you know, all those places, Oklahoma. We don't. But, you know, we have had our fair share of tornadoes over the last 75 years. Better locations: Cumberland, Fentress County, Morgan, Scott County. I would say Knox, Blount, Monroe, McMinn, Polk, Bradley, Hamilton, and Marion County. Those are the places that if you are joining us this morning from those counties, any of those counties I just called out, yeah, stay weather alert. Stay more concerned about a tornado threat because you have, based on history, a greater, I don't want to say opportunity. I think opportunity is the wrong word when you're talking severe weather. Greatest chance, greatest threat for seeing a tornado threat. Anyways, and with that said, remember I said the tornado threat's going to be probably greater along and north of Interstate 40. So Scott, Morgan, Fentress, Cumberland County, just stay weather alert. And as these storms typically slide to the south and southeast, they do weaken. We can only hope for the best and say hopefully it weakens. We don't want severe weather, right? But it's also going to be in the middle of the night. And that's the other thing, Elise, is that in the middle of the night, if you don't have a NOAA weather radio, I would say go buy one. I've got one sitting right here in the studio. And listen, I've got it on mute. Well, not mute, but I've got it really quiet. But a NOAA weather radio is the voice of the National Weather Service when you are not paying attention or sleeping, right? It's loud and obnoxious, and it will go off, and you'll know when it goes off. But it stays silent unless there's severe weather in our area. And so that's the thing, is like, I just want you, or have a way to receive weather information in the middle of the night. A lot of us turn off our cell phones, or at least put them on mute or do not disturb. Maybe tomorrow night and a Thursday morning, you keep that cell phone not on don't put it on silent or do not disturb. Do not do that. You know what I'm talking about? Does that make sense? So hopefully I've answered a bunch of your questions here. Let's see. Thank God you're in Roane County. You've had 6 tornadoes over the last 75 years. Madison says, thank God I'm in Roane County. Yeah, but you're on the cusp of Morgan and Cumberland, Fentress and Scott, right? So just always stay weather alert. Over the next couple of days, make sure your cell phones and stuff are charged because, we'll likely have power outages with some of these storms, especially tomorrow night and the Thursday morning. We're likely to get some power outages. Probably going to be a messy commute on Thursday morning due to downed tree limbs. Now, listen, the trees have bloomed now, right? And so that adds more surface areas to the trees in the forest and the environment and everything around us that will likely get more power outages during a severe weather event like the one coming up in the next few days. Let's see. I think we're all caught up. We are all caught up on chat, my friends. You are all amazing. We're gonna wrap things up here in just a bit. It's 8:12. We talked for an hour and 12 minutes. That's amazing. You all make my day. And I love talking about the weather around us. I love talking about the things that are going on around us. And the music, cue the music. Right? Cue the music. Let's have some quiet, calm music. We've been talking so long, I haven't had my cup of coffee yet. Let me throw this out there as well. When I do live severe weather coverage, you'll see it on all East Tennessee weather platforms. Again, I don't care what platform you come to. It does not matter to me one single bit. Okay? Just find the information with East Tennessee Weather. It's updated constantly on all platforms, whether it be Facebook, to YouTube, to Twitter, Instagram sometimes, but of course, easttnweather.com and through the app. You got your daily forecast there, and any sort of severe weather potential, we will be broadcasting live on all platforms without commercials. You won't get a pre-roll commercial. You won't get an exit commercial. When I go on, you'll get a notification on your cell phone if you have the East Tennessee Weather app that I'm getting ready to go live. It'll come to a countdown, and we will get right to it and walk you through the forecast, walk you through the nowcasting. We've got the Witchers Weather Watchers on standby, so they're going to be joining us if they need to. Let's hope we don't have to use them. But that's just really what we're going to do. This is weather when you want it, my friends. I'm here for you. You come get the information when you want it, but just stay weather alert, okay? Don't be scared about it. Don't be too concerned. Just get the information and know what to do with it, and let everyone know about that as well, okay? So go to the Google Play Store, the App Store, and search East TN Weather. If you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, it is a great tool. Past, current, and future radar with the interactive radar. So if you're out to lunch today, something's popping up, you can find out how long that storm's going to last. You can track it, the storms with us as we broadcast live during any severe weather coverage. So it's going to be a wealth of weather information just for us here in East Tennessee. But if you do travel, it goes where you go as well. And so if you're traveling on vacation, it'll also notify you of any severe weather or inclement weather in your area, wherever you are in the United States. That's pretty cool, I'd say. Wouldn't you say? I'd say that's pretty cool. All right, my friends, we sure hope you have a great day. Debbie, I miss you too. And thanks for joining us on the broadcast this morning. Hopefully you have the app, Debbie. And really, really, really do appreciate every single one of you. If you want to stick around, I do have a giant full forecast coming your way where you'll be able to get all the weather information that you want. I'll break it all down. That's coming up with the 24-hour weather channel here in just a moment. We'll pick it up from the beginning. Let me move a couple things around. We'll pick it up from the very beginning, so you get a weather update that I broadcast this morning from the 24-hour weather channel. You'll get some camera shots and a wealth of weather information. Again, this is on YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire. Download those apps on your smart TVs. You can have it on in the background while you're cooking dinner, getting ready for work, getting the kids ready for school. It is everything that you need to know. All right, my friends, we sure hope you have a great day. How many times have I called you my friends? Well, listen, you're my friends, and I do appreciate you. All right, back to the 24-hour weather channel we go. Have a great Tuesday. Be safe. Be kind to each other. Life is short. We'll see you back here real soon.
You're watching East Tennessee Weather. Weather when you want it.
Good morning. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. It was an active day yesterday, and that trend continues for several more days. Got a lot to talk about, so stick with me. And make sure you see and share everything on social media. Stay on top of the weather situation. And the easiest way to do so is by downloading the East Tennessee Weather app, where you can watch live severe weather coverage from your cell phone, tablets, or online at easttnweather.com. All social media, YouTube, Roku TV, and Amazon Fire. And these are all places that I will be during these events. All right, so here we go. So today we're talking about if storms develop. If, I don't necessarily know that we're going to have a whole lot, they will become strong or severe. Now, a few afternoon showers and evening thunderstorms are possible through the day on Wednesday. And again, if they do develop, we've got a very conducive atmosphere for producing severe weather. But Wednesday night and Thursday morning, a line of severe storms are expected to move on through. Flooding is possible, if not likely, based on the rain that we've already seen and the heavy rain that we're going to continue to see. And then as we get into the weekend, we're talking about some cooler weather to return. We've got a lot of festivals going on this weekend, and it should be just fine, nice and comfortable. All right, here we go. Severe weather outlook throughout the day today. The Storm Prediction Center has us under a level 1. Area shaded in yellow is a level 2 risk for strong to severe thunderstorms. This does go through tomorrow morning, so that's a 24-hour period. So watch as our future casts, we run it into motion. We have some patchy dense fog here this morning. We'll call it partly cloudy skies throughout the day. And again, you can see a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms that will try to develop through the day today. But the atmosphere is conducive to produce severe weather if we were to tap into the environment. But I'm not expecting a whole lot throughout the day today. That's 7 o'clock here tonight. We'll call it partly cloudy skies. So forecast temperatures, we're going to see those temps climbing to the upper 70s as we get into the lunch hour. Heading through the afternoon, we'll see those temperatures even warmer than what we were yesterday. We'll be in the low to mid 80s. So a very warm and, yes, muggy day around town as well. We'll stay in the upper 70s to low 80s from 6, 8 to even through 10 o'clock here tonight under partly cloudy skies. Now, the wind's going to be with us a little bit. It's going to be rather breezy and gusty, but not too terribly strong. You'll just notice the wind increasing throughout the day today. All right, overnight tonight, here we go. We're going to see the clouds continuing to hang out with us. Now, we do have some scattered showers and thunderstorms that are possible through the overnight hours. Again, some of these could become a little bit stronger during the overnight hours because that risk runs until 7 o'clock Wednesday morning. As we head through the day on Wednesday, we are talking about more severe weather. So here's your severe threats through 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. If we see storms fire up, 60-mile-per-hour winds, low end on the tornado threat, but still a little conducive to see maybe an isolated tornado, so it is possible, but not likely, again, over the next 24 hours. Hail, 1-inch in diameter hail is possible, and isolated flooding concerns is possible as well. And that just takes us through 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Now let's take you through the day tomorrow. This is Wednesday into Thursday. So 8 o'clock in the morning Wednesday through 8 o'clock in the morning Thursday. We've got a level 2, and we've been upgraded to a level 3 risk for severe storms by the Storm Prediction Center. This is the area that's going to have the greatest potential for the tornado threat as we head into the overnight hours Wednesday into Thursday. So here's your timeline. Wednesday morning, may have a couple of scattered showers around the area. Through the lunch hour, we're going to see partly to mostly cloudy skies. Strong flow out of the south and southwest. That's going to help to pump in the moisture. A lot of unstable air in place. So Wednesday afternoon, likely not to get a whole lot of activity. So I don't think we're going to have a ton of activity throughout the day on Wednesday. But some models indicating some single supercells that could develop through the day. If those do develop out ahead of the main system Wednesday night into Thursday, they will become strong or definitely severe, I think, at that point of the game. This model forecast is not picking up on a whole lot of activity throughout the day on Wednesday, but some model guidance is definitely there. So our storm threats through 7 p.m. Wednesday, if again we get those storms to fire up, we're going to have damaging winds in the medium category, hail and flood threat in the medium category. Low end when it comes to the tornado threat once again, but I would put that in a medium category if we actually do see some storms to fire up. Now, let's go to the main event. This is Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So 7 o'clock to midnight, here comes that line of severe storms. It's going to break out from our northwest. So we'll take you to 2 o'clock in the morning. It starts to enter the Cumberland Plateau. Again, give or take 2 or 3 hours with this model forecast. Sometimes these things speed up, so it may be a little bit sooner. But 3 o'clock in the morning, here comes this line. 4 o'clock, it's pushing its way on through. 5 to 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. These are the storms. This is the line of storms that we're going to be watching very, very closely because these could produce damaging winds, large hail. So here are those storm threats. 7 o'clock Wednesday through 7 o'clock Thursday. 7 p.m. Wednesday through 7 a.m. Wednesday or Thursday. We have a medium to high category in all levels. So flooding is there. Hail over 1 inch in diameter, medium category for tornadoes, and winds over 60 miles per hour. So it is a very active and stormy week here around East Tennessee. But rainfall amounts, I mean, this is just generally speaking, 1 to maybe pockets of 2 inches of rainfall or more if we get rounds and rounds of rain over the same locations. And that's why we have that flood threat that will continue all the way through Thursday morning. But we're not done yet. Thursday into Friday, we still have a level 1 category for strong to severe thunderstorms. And so we are still looking at the possibility of severe weather Thursday into Friday morning. The flood threat is definitely there as we head through the day tomorrow. Level 1, level 2. Thursday, it's going to stick with us. And then it starts to wind down as we get into the upcoming weekend. Friday will be cooler with increase in sunshine down to 70, but we're going to stay in the 80s up until Friday time frame. Now, if you have travel plans around the region, this is our forecast for the day today into tomorrow. Level 1, 2, and 3 risk. The bullseye is going to be across the Ohio Valley, stretching all the way down to Texas, so with the level 1 category. Then Wednesday into Thursday, there's that bullseye for strong to severe thunderstorms. It includes Memphis, Nashville, and right here in East Tennessee for a level 3 risk. That's an enhanced risk, and so that's way elevated when you're talking about the risk level. And then as this cold front slides its way to our south and southeast, Thursday into Friday, that's going to take some strong to severe thunderstorms across the southeastern U.S. So here's how it all plays out. On the big picture, again, Tuesday this morning, we'll run you through the timeline. I'm just going to let this run. You'll see how this cold front's going to work its way into the area and watch how these storms really fire up and blast their way on into the area. Cold front comes through late in the day on Thursday into Friday, and that's what's going to cool our temperatures down to below average as we get into the upcoming weekend. Rain chances will fade away as we get into the upcoming weekend as well, but going to be elevated up until then. 80s through Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to be in the 70s. We've got a lot of festivals going on here this weekend. Should be fantastic for the Southern Skies Festival on Saturday at World's Fair Park. And then we're back into the mid-70s on into our Monday. Low temperature trend. Average lows are in the low to mid-50s. Coolest morning, probably Saturday morning, down to 48 degrees. And then we'll stay slightly below average, but comfortable as we get into our Sunday and Monday time frame. As I mentioned before, stay on top of the weather situation. Have the way to receive weather alerts. Listen, the East Tennessee Weather app is a great tool, and here's why. You'll get push notifications when lightning is within 15 miles of your location. You'll get push notifications when there's severe weather moving its way into the area. You'll get push notifications when I do live severe weather coverage, which is going to be likely at some point in time, whether it be today, tomorrow, or even tomorrow night into Thursday morning. So make sure you check that out. Have a way to receive weather information. Download it from the Google Play Store, the App Store, download it on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and go subscribe to the YouTube channel, and always check social media.